Oh, Hannah.
Hi.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
I was really glad that you came back. And I know from our last two sessions that it's not what you really want to do exactly, but you have a goal in mind and we can get there.
Yeah.
How was the last week since I saw you?
It's been okay. I still haven't really been able to talk to my mom about what happened. I'm not really fully comfortable with telling her yet. But they still get on to me about how irritable I've been lately.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of, they like say things to me in the wrong tone and I snap at them. But
Yeah.
it's been okay. It hasn't been a bad week, but it's just kind of been normal.
Okay.
So.
Have you heard from your girlfriend?
Yes and no. She's tried to contact me, but I've been trying to distance myself from her. It's not always working. I did talk to her for a little bit this week just to kind of touch base, but things didn't, you know, it didn't. Our last encounter wasn't very positive, so I don't know. I hope it'll get better.
Yeah, it looks like you've gotten some sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sleep has happened. I think I woke up one day at like 1 o'clock this week. I overslept. I didn't even see my alarm, so I didn't go to work, but I think it was for the best.
Yeah, sometimes you need to take a day.
Yeah, just took a day, relaxed. But
Treat yourself. Yeah.
yeah, but I think it'll be okay. I think talking to you has helped, but it's,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It'll get better though.
What are you focused on for these therapy sessions? We talked a little bit about last time, but I just wanted to see if it changed.
I think right now I'm still trying to focus mainly on the issues that I've had with, you know, my family and my issues with the church. I don't know if I'll delve into my relationship with my ex-girlfriend just yet, but I think keeping that mainly the focus of just dealing with that first, because I think that it'll probably be the healthiest to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good week.
I think so, yeah.
That's good. That's improvement. That's progress.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. I'm glad
Yeah.
you think that's progress.
So as I was thinking about where to take this in our third session,
Okay.
I remembered as I was writing down a lot of your information, just trying to like think about it, I really think this particular model of therapy would be really effective. It's called EMDR. Have you heard of it?
No.
Not the slightest.
No.
It stands for eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. It's a very interactive, self-empowering kind of therapy. So normally other therapists will do cognitive behavior therapy or things with talking, sometimes drawing, and this one involves pretty much just you.
Okay.
You do majority of the work. And I'm here, getting you through it.
What is it?
Yeah, that'd help, wouldn't it?
A little bit.
So for most of the time, I'll ask you a series of questions, how you think about things. You'll bring up a certain experience, and it could be really, really easy, like getting into a fender bender on your way to work, or something as difficult as family life and what happened with your girlfriend. And that kind of determines how long it'll take, but the kind of the gist of where we're going is you'll be following my hand, looking back and forth as I go right and left, or if you'd like, I can use your hands. We do bilateral stimulation or touch on your knees, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And that's basically it. And so after we do those kind of sets, then I'll ask you another question and see what's changed, see what you've learned. It kind of opens up your brain to rethink and reprocess a lot that's happened, to see what's really up, what's really going on.
Okay. I'm a little bit hesitant just because I'm not at a place where I feel like other people can like touch me.
Mm-hmm. That's, yeah.
So, do you still think it would be as effective if we did like the non-touching version?
Yeah, so just eye movements, that's perfect. Yeah, and that's the normal, the usual, the standard kind of
Okay.
protocol. And what's probably better about that, about doing the eye movements alone, it's named after eye movements, so it makes it a lot easier for you.
You kind of said that it depends on how long it would take. It's taken quite a bit for me to come here even for the third time. Like, how long do you think it could last?
Yeah, and that, I'll be honest with you, that depends entirely on you.
Okay.
It depends on what you want to bring up, how deep it's rooted, and sometimes other clients I've had who bring in something really, really deep and we do EMDR, it might only take them 3 to 5 sessions. But for some others, it's taken a lot more. But
is there anything that you think that would maybe, I don't know, is there a way to show me what it would be like without committing to it? Because I don't know.
yeah. So before we start EMDR, there's a little practice skill called Safe Place that kind of is a trial run for EMDR. We use the movements and try to install a safe, secure image in your mind so you can go back to and notice the change in your body as you go from a mild negative thought, feeling, or idea, and then thinking again about that safe place and noticing the change in your body. And the way that I would help you create that safe place and get there is by using eye movements. And so it's kind of a trial run, it's a precursor to EMDR. And it would be a very good way to test out the waters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of skeptical about it. How did this all like actually get created? Like,
So back in my day, in 1989, great year. Dr. Shapiro, Francine Shapiro, had a terrible accident a few days before and didn't know how to deal with it, and so she wanted to go to a walk through the park. And as she was walking through the park, she noticed that she kept on moving her eyes left and right really, really quickly. And after she did, she realized her entire body had calmed down. There was this whole physical, mental, emotional shift in her body, in her life, that she hadn't realized, and thus EMDR was born. She started to study it and see why the eye movements, why were they so significant? I mean, I look left, I look right. It's really simple for us. Like, what's so special about it? So the interesting thing that she's been able to connect with it. So when you go to sleep and you enter your REM cycle, like that really, really deep part of sleep where you finally get to process things and retain it for the next day, your eyes are actually moving a lot, left and right, left and right, left and right. And it kind of, us doing the EMDR movements like that kind of emulates it. But I'll be honest with you again, there's still a lot of research on it. Not many people are so sure that they're really scared that, oh, that's hypnosis, that's this, that's that. But honestly, no one knew how penicillin worked when it first came out. They just thought, it's working, let's keep on using it and then figure out how it works. And EMDR is kind of following that same model.
Is it helping, because you said that it helped with the woman, Dr. Shapiro, I think you said.
Mhm.
It helped with her after she got into a fender bender. Has it helped people who've had more prolonged, I guess you would call my experience as traumatic?
Yeah. We, in fact, EMDR is highly used with people who have PTSD. Anything trauma oriented, it really helps them understand and reconnect, because whenever you have PTSD or some type of traumatic experience, there's a wall. So all you see is that fear, that incident, that you get scared and you can't think past it. EMDR opens that up, lets you breathe, lets you feel yourself again. At least that's in my experience, and researchers and people that I've encountered in clinics and workshops I've gone to. It's been very consistent.
You said that Safe Place would kind of be like a taste of it before we
Mhm.
actually...
It's like a dipping your big toe into the pool. Check if it's cold or hot.
Okay. I guess we could try out this Safe Place.
Okay. If you're comfortable with it, I'll need to set up chairs. We'll have to sit a little differently.
Okay.
We'll have to set up the chairs so that we're kind of like ships passing by, so that my hand is easier seen
Okay.
and followed. It will take me a few minutes, but can I get you some water or?
I'm okay right now, thank you though. But yeah, if it's just a few minutes, you said?
Yeah, I'll be right back
Okay.
with some chairs and we can get started.
Okay.
Okay, Hannah, I am ready for you.
Okay. Where do you want me?
You can sit here, and I will sit right here.
Okay.
And to keep you informed, I'm also going to take a few notes just for the exercise.
Okay.
And I want to kind of walk you through it right now a little bit.
Okay.
So we're really just going to think about setting up images, setting up positive things, and just try to listen to what I ask. It's not going to be nothing invasive, really simple. It's just kind of you thinking about your own things.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So before we started, just want to take a few deep breaths, eyes closed, to clear your mind. Just to get a good gauge. I want you to tell me where's the most comfortable placement of my fingers.
About right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
And before we continue, if you can follow my hand to see what's the most comfortable,
Okay.
and just let me know. And if things get too uncomfortable or weird, or you want to stop,
Okay.
put up your hand, tell me, and I'll stop.
Okay.
So first, I'm going to try diagonal movements. Which direction is better?
Can we try it one more time so I can pay attention? Okay. think it was the diagonal movement where you started up and went down.
So
I
this
think-
direction?
Yeah, I think that's better.
I'll definitely like that. Okay. So bring to mind a place, real or imagined, that brings up for you feelings of calm, safety, and great comfort. Nod or say yes when you have one.
Okay.
Now when you think about that place, describe what you observe, what you see, hear, feel, smell. Notice the positive feelings present, and describe this to me.
There's a lot of candlelight. It's very dimly lit. It's almost kind of like there's maybe a singing in the background, but it's more of a humming. I feel I'm alone, but I feel like there's people around me who are very accepting. And I definitely smell, it's more like a, oh, what do they call the things that they look like sticks and they burn them?
Incense.
Incense, yeah, there's incense. I smell that in the background.
Now when you think about these things, where do you feel that in your body?
It's kind of like in the pit of my stomach.
You can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever feels most comfortable and helps you focus. I want you to enjoy this place, noticing the dimly lit candlelight, the humming in the background, almost singing, being surrounded by acceptance, but standing alone, but feeling people around you. The smell of incense burning, and how it all feels in the pit of your stomach. And gently open your eyes and continue to notice the place and those pleasant sensations as you follow my fingers with your eyes. And what do you notice now?
I kind of felt the feeling of it being in the pit of my stomach kind of spreading throughout my body.
Okay, notice that. Breathe in. Let it go. What do you notice now?
More of like an easiness within my mind.
Go with that. What do you notice now?
I feel more relaxed. More like everything's okay.
Go with that.
of about the same.
Okay. Now, if your eyes are open or closed, whatever helps you stay in that place, bring up that comfortable area, that comfortable place. Allow a word to fill you up. Come to mind that represents for you that place. What's that word?
Hope.
Now enjoy noticing that place. Gently open your eyes and continue to think about the dimly lit candlelight, the flow of incense, being surrounded by people accepting you, and that feeling going through your entire body, and the word hope. What do you notice now?
I kind of notice like the negative thoughts that I have wanting to leave my body. Like almost the feeling of wanting to cry but not really being sad.
Notice that. How about now?
A little bit more calm.
Go. How about now?
Feeling at peace, feeling level, but almost feeling, it's not feeling nothing, but it's feeling nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said level, feeling level.
Feeling level.
Notice that levelness. How about now?
I feel present. I feel here.
Ready? How about now?
Kind of more or less the same, still feeling calm and
Now on your own, I want you to bring up the image and notice those positive sensations and the word hope. How's that?
it's almost like the outside looking in. I can see it, I can see myself in it. but it's like watching through a pane of glass. Does that make sense?
Through a pane of glass, like a window pane?
And kind of like a window pane, like watching this, like feeling at peace, seeing these images.
And for a moment, I want you to recall a recent, mildly distressing experience.
Hold it for me.
Helps me all the time. So now think about your safe place.
Okay.
Let's get back there.
Okay.
Think of all the sensations and the word hope.
Okay.
How's that?
It's level. It's. I feel in the moment about it.
Now, just for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to recall a mildly disturbing experience. So on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst it's ever been, and 0 being normal or nothing,
Okay.
at around a 2 or a 1.
Okay.
Let me know when you have it.
Okay.
I want you to check in and notice what it's like to think about that disturbing experience. Now turn your attention back to your safe place and the word hope.
Okay.
What effect did that have on the experience of memory?
It made it seem a little bit more insignificant, as though it was just more of a bump in the road than anything. Especially being at like a lower level.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it seemed like maybe a lot more than it actually was. But being able to kind of like look back and feel what I was feeling beforehand, especially with the word hope, it's kind of like everything would be fine after that.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now let's think of another mildly disturbing experience.
Okay.
Maybe something, if it was a 1, the last memory, this one's a 2.
Okay.
Or if it was a 2, maybe a 2.5, but nothing too much.
Okay.
Maybe think of the memory, let me know.
Okay.
Now check in and notice what it's like to think of that memory, of that disturbing experience.
Okay.
Now turn your attention back to your safe place and the word hope.
Okay.
What effect did that have on that disturbing experience?
I think that one it made it seem more like, even though it's a little bit more ongoing. Yeah.
I'm using Kleenex.
I don't know why that's happening. You're making me breathe. Sorry.
Okay.
That was super great to watch.
You're doing great.
Okay. So even even though it's more of an ongoing experience, it makes me think that there's a light towards the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's very dim from where I'm at. Even though it's not a super traumatic experience, I feel like, kind of like how you were saying, like a bridge can meet, it feels like maybe it's lowering a little bit towards it.
Okay. That's nice.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to try for you to do that on your own.
Okay.
So I'll give you some time for you to think of another mildly disturbing experience, and then go back to your safe place, and tell me how that is.
My eyes kind of almost feel like when I'm trying to go back to it that they want to start doing that diagonal motion. Like now looking through different experiences, I feel like it, knowing that we're going to level up more, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find that safe place again.
You said more difficult?
I think as we start to level up, just because in the moment things seem worse than they are sometimes.
Okay. Let's try another set of movements.
Okay.
Notice that. Notice that you said it was more difficult.
Okay.
How about now?
That felt like it was better to get back to the safe place.
So also think about the candlelight.
Okay.
Think about the incense. Hope. Where do you feel it in your body?
Spreading.
Notice that. One more set.
Okay.
Not now.
More relaxed. Spreading out. I feel as though I've been able to reach back to my safe place after thinking about that other experience. Yeah.
So Hannah, that's safe place. That's EMDR. That's what it does. You're able to tackle those mild experiences on your own. You had a little bit of help. I exercised my right arm. Ooh, I broke a little sweat. But that was you. That was all you. You came up with the candles, the safe place. You didn't even tell me the mild experience that you were having. But then you were able to find peace. You were able to find a calm, distance yourself. Be able to find and look and confront those very mild things. Let's get back to the couch real quick,
Okay.
so I can move these chairs back, and then we can talk a little bit more about what this would look like
Okay.
and what it is you just did.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that?
It was different. It definitely was different. I think it worked better than I thought it was. going to. I didn't think it was going to do anything, but
When I first saw it, I thought it was like, that was witchcraft or like something intense. That I was like, is this real science or is this?
Yeah, I think it was when we were deciding like which way or things like that. I was like, I can understand why people think that this is like being hypnotized. I was like, but I can see how over time it would help me deal with the harder things that I've had to deal with in life.
What do you mean?
Like,
how so?
We only touched on the minor,
Mm-hmm.
but just on the minor things, I could see how going back to something that I felt safe in made them, is kind of like, you know how they say like hindsight is 20/20.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of made me feel like there's a way out of the darkness.
Yeah, there's hope.
There's hope, yes. So I think, I don't think it's going to happen as much as I'd like for it to help me faster.
Mm-hmm.
I think that with time and with every bit of patience that I can muster out of myself, which if my mom was here, she'd tell you, like, I don't have any patience, but I'm going to try to get it out. I think that this would help me deal with a lot of things that I've been struggling with.
That's great.
Or at least I hope so.
Yeah. And there's always that hope and being okay with if it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't feel like it's going to hurt me to try. Like, even if for some reason my mind is just like, no, I'm not going to do this, I won't be worse or further wear.
Right. It's one model that you can check off saying, tried it.
Yeah, tried it, didn't necessarily work, but hopefully I'd like for it to work.
Yeah. And a full-on EMDR session would be a lot more in-depth. There'd be a lot more passes. I did like 4 to 6, and I moderated the speed just to feel it out. And of EMDR sessions, about 24 passes, so it's a lot longer. And you would also share with me the experience, because I would need to know more about where to go, what's happening, and things like that, and I'd be more involved.
Okay.
But it'd still be all you. It still is you thinking, responding, reflecting, and coming out stronger.
Yeah. I think something that I might struggle with is the fact that there's really no right or wrong answer to when you're asking me, because I know there were some times after you had done a pass, when you say, well, how do you feel? I didn't really feel any different from pass to pass, and so I didn't want to make something up, and so I think that's something that I may have to deal with as far as, you can say, I'm still the same as last time to work through things, but...
And Hannah, that's okay. If nothing feels different, that's just as important as if all of a sudden you realize that something is completely different.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever feedback, whatever thought, whatever new process comes to mind is just as valuable as the next.
Right. And would there be motions that I could do on my own at home? Or would it just be more of like getting back to the safe place through breathing?
Getting back to the safe place, we can work on some breathing exercises to kind of re-emphasize and reprocess that entire experience, but something you can do at home is finding a new safe place. Because you kind of know the process, to look for, and at the end you did it on your own. At the very end you were able to switch back and forth between positive and negative. So if you really want some homework, Definitely trying to figure out more safe places. Because like you said, when things get more difficult, that safe place might not be enough. And it'll be important for you to have another place to lean on. Generally though, once you create a safe place and you constantly go back to it, it kind of reinforces it and makes it bigger and stronger. But always having more safe places never hurt.
Gotcha. And would this be something like, is this something that I should do after something traumatic happens, or can it, like if I'm in a situation where I'm like maybe in an argument or anything like that, that you would recommend doing while it's happening or wait till afterwards?
I would definitely think it's something you could use after, because during you want to try to stay present as much as possible.
Okay.
But if you really find yourself getting out of control, I would suggest the best thing is to appropriately remove yourself.
Okay.
Situation. For instance, if you're in a fight with your mom or your girlfriend or something, to find a way to respectfully, appropriately leave the situation and then find a safe place.
Okay.
It's definitely a tool you'd like to keep to regather yourself, ground yourself. A lot of the times you were saying you find this calmness, this still, and you want to reach that place again.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to clarify again, you were talking a lot about how things were changing. Can you talk to me about that?
Well, I think when I was talking about things were changing as far as, you saying like my situations, what I was saying, I'm hoping that certain situations will change as far as how my family and I treat each other, how I treat myself mentally, how the people I allow to love me treat me. I can see what the other side looks like, because before all of this started, I was very, energetic. I loved going out. I loved being with friends and all that. And I had a good relationship with my family. I had a good relationship with God. I had a good relationship with church. But once it all started going downhill, it was just kind of like going into darkness. So when I say that I can see the change, it's more like being able to remember what it was like before and seeing that in my future. So the safe place, I think when it was the light at the end of the tunnel, it was kind of like looking back and seeing a mirror image towards the future. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted again to kind of explain that process. The eye movements kind of served as a way to install certain cognitions, thoughts, feelings, sensations. For instance, a safe place. When we constantly built it up, and I asked you, like, what do you see? What do you feel? And
Yeah.
I said, notice that, and then did the eye movements. And like I was saying before, with REM sleep,
Yeah.
your eyes moving, that's when you retain and you process your day. That's why it's so important.
Yeah.
So get some sleep. And that's why doing those movements helped install that even further. That's that safe place, the candle lights. I thought that was beautiful. I was like, oh, I want to go there. So that's kind of the intent, and that's the reprocessing aspect of EMDR. And
Okay.
desensitization kind of happens alongside it. Once you realize, like you were saying, it seemed insignificant, you said.
Yeah. Like it's nothing, but it's not nothing.
Exactly. And then you talked about the amount of disturbance being insignificant at this time. Like, now it doesn't matter. And that's desensitizing. That makes it less disturbing, less traumatic, less harsh.
Gotcha.
Able to now face it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm really glad you seem to like it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be something that will probably work well with where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I really hope, I'm really hoping that we can continue forward with a full EMDR session, maybe next week. If something else happens, we can put it to the side and talk about and see what's going on. Because I want you to feel safe. I want you to understand this is a process. It's not, I don't have a wand.
Yeah.
I'm not Harry Potter. If you're okay with us moving forward, I'm gonna get started on preparing, planning, seeing what's next.
Okay. I think our next session I'd be comfortable with moving forward.
Great. Makes me really excited. I love doing this. But it's so important to make sure that you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Last minute touch base. And I just wanted you to know again, everything here is confidential.
No, yeah, of course.
I like to kind of reinstate that at the end, just so people don't feel anxious about leaving and saying, oh, but all that stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to use me as an example. No, I don't use names, I don't use identifiers, I don't even use situations. I just speak generally, like I was telling you before, like my other clients.
Yeah.
So, we got some going.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Of course, Hannah. Always a pleasure. I'll walk you to the door.
There's some chairs and they're sitting there. There's some chairs and they're sitting there.
Oh, this is wrong. So you sit and say a few words here and there. Ha 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 ha.
Cheers to cheers, cheers to cheers to cheers, cheers to cheers, 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 cheers,
Cheers, cheers, cheers, cheers.
Siéntate en las sillas.
This is no, so normally. Oh my
I don't know why I thought you were going to start talking in Spanish. You're like, mi nombre es. Put the wine away. Mi mochila está en la biblioteca con mi tío Juan. En mi mochila es mi mantequilla y mi maquillaje. Pero la biblioteca es muy fría. Mi mantequilla y mi maquillaje es muy bueno. Look around.
Monkeys. Literally.
It's okay, it's empty.